Greetings, y'all. This is my second attempt at this video because y'all know I don't have a camera. I've been using my phone and my storage. Anyways, I deleted a whole bunch of stuff, but I didn't remove it. So yeah, I'm just not gonna go into that because that's not important. But anyways, I'm here. I'm back. The purpose of this video is just really talk about being yourself, really, and standing up and standing in who exactly you are and not being afraid of what people may say. That sounds very simple, but coming from a people pleaser, coming from somebody that typically cares about other people. I wouldn't necessarily say I would care what people think. I say, oh, I don't care what nobody thinks, but on the inside, I think I always kind of cared what people's opinion of me was, and that's why I would try my best to not hurt anybody's feelings or not say the wrong things or not do the right things. And you know, it's worked. I would say for the majority of, I would say in my old eyes, I would say that yes, it worked because I've never had any problems. Like I never have problems with people. I never have issues. I never have like disagreements with things. I mean, sometimes, you know, there are a few people that I don't like, but there's never anything that's like too drastic, you know what I'm saying? And I realized yesterday after watching a live for one of the people, somebody I follow on Instagram, and it's kind of like, you know, that's not good. Like, everybody can't like you. Like, if everybody likes you, there's a problem because we're all individual. I mean, maybe not a problem because I feel like people who are aware and people who are awoke and people whose eyes are open and they see what's going on, they're able to understand individuals. And maybe that's just something about me because I can understand people, you know, even though what you may say or do may be completely different or in my eyes like wrong or just not living right. I could see where, one, I usually can see where the issue began, or I gain an understanding of why you are like that. A lot of times what I've learned is people in their adult age, you know, i.e. 30s, late 20s, I want to say early 20s, it's just people in their adult life after they leave home, they become a version of themselves. They become the version of themselves that was implanted or imprinted on them as children. Like, like, people these days, like, I don't care what nobody says until you do the work to uncover and release. And I say this in a space to where I don't know your parents. Unless you take yourself through you make the conscious decision to take yourself through a moment of self-actualization and really going inside and just figuring out who and what you are and what you're about, you are living in trauma. You are living in, and it might not be in, trauma is all over the place. It could be something completely drastic, but it also could be something subtle and simple, and it's just you're living in the trauma. You're living in a lie. Your life was created, like your life today was created by what you learned yesterday, and what you learned yesterday may or may not have been for your highest good. What you learned yesterday from your parents, from whoever raised you, could be fear. It could be, you know, everything that was about them, they implanted on you. And now, in your adult age, you're living through that. So you're creating the pattern. Now, if you had a parent that was open, that was elevated, that was aware, then maybe you are living as your best self because they gave you the space to be who you are. They gave you the space to be the creative person. They gave you the space to just express yourself, and they didn't implant any traumas, or they didn't implant any patterns on you. And the parents, they don't do these things intentionally. They do this because that's just what they know, and that's just the trajectory of life. But now that so many of us are waking up, I'm in my 30s, so, you know, I'm in this place where we run the world right now. Like, people in their, you know, late 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, we are the force of this world. And as we get married and have children, I feel that it's important for us to make sure that we are allowing our seeds to grow and flourish as they were meant to, and try not to implant our own past and our own fears and our own beliefs on our children, because that's just not going to forward us. I met a woman who is she's in her 40s, very spiritually led person, very open person, very aware person, very very just, she's like really amazing. And she had 5 kids. She has 4 daughters, and it was refreshing because in my mind I was like, wow, like this is the perfect person to have 4 children, because she is literally like helping to create this new world, she's like helping to like forward this new earth, because having 4 daughters mean there's 4 mothers who are being raised in a way that they can be creative, and they're young and they're already like in tune with their gifts. They're in tune with who they are. They're just highly in tune. So I'm just thinking, wow, can you imagine when these girls grow up to be women and they produce their own children? Like, if we continue that, this world will change. And I think that's where it is. Like for me, I only have 1 kid, and he is autistic, and I love him to death. I never thought I would have children, but I have my baby, and you never know. I don't know what's in store for me in the future. I would love to have a daughter one day, but everybody's path is different and everybody's purpose is different, and I'm still settling into mine, figuring it out. But I think it's just important for us to try to raise our children in a way that allows them to be themselves. And here's an example of why I say that. So I knew a person who was kind of, I wouldn't say lost, but maybe kind of confused with things as far as like who they were as a person. And this person was confused because of the things that their mother implanted on them as a kid. As a kid, their mother would always tell them, that is wrong, girls don't do that. That is wrong, girls don't do that. That is wrong, girls don't do that. And when you think about it, that's like an affirmation, but it's like an affirmation being told to you by somebody else, and it's being planted on you every day. It's being embedded, it's being taught, you're being trained, you're being like, this is being put on you. So as you grow, we are like, I was going to say we're kind of like computers, but we take in whatever is put on us. We take it in. Like the average person, especially if you're unaware, you're absorbing what people are saying, you're absorbing what people are doing, you're absorbing all of this, and you're taking it in and processing it. And if you're hearing the same things over and over again, you're going to process that as truth. You're going to process that as what you are, and it's a lie. And then as time goes on, that trauma builds and it turns into whatever it may be. Like it turns into you thinking that you're supposed to be something else when you're only thinking that way because of the trauma that was placed on you. You're only thinking this way because someone prophesied this to you and told you this is what you were, and you believed it. And that's just one situation. Every situation is different, but that's just a situation where I know this person was unhappy after they thought they did what they were supposed to do, but they were unhappy because this was not true to them. They were doing this from a place of trauma. They were doing this from a place of fear. They were doing this from a place of improper parenting, like from an unaware parent. Like, you know what I'm saying? This is a cycle. It's a vicious cycle that goes on and on and on and on. And we have to be careful when we say things to people. We have to be careful when you accuse people of things. You just got to be careful on what you say and be aware of the things that are coming out your mouth, because you don't know the traumas, and you don't know the weight of what you're doing and how it's going to impact people in the future. Yeah, so I guess that's it. I don't have nothing else, because My other video didn't even go in that direction. So I guess that was a point to why it cut off. But yeah, I think I said I was gonna make a video about a new Earth, so I'll probably go do that now.